Brace yourself for an electrifying plunge into Papua New Guinea, a Pacific titan where 462,840 square kilometers of rugged jungles, soaring peaks and coral seas pulse with a raw, untamed spirit. Home to 17 million souls, this Melanesian mosaic boasts 851 languages, cannibalistic legacies, and a biodiversity bonanza that rivals Eden. From the world's only poisonous bird to tribal wars flaring in 2024, from sorcery killings to a capital erupting in chaos, PNG is a whirlwind of beauty and brutality. Let's unearth the shocking facts about a land where tree kangaroos climb, volcanoes roar, and every village hides a story that'll jolt your senses. Geography is a mind-bender. PNG occupies the eastern half of New Guinea, the world's second-largest island, with Indonesia's Papua to the west, plus 600 islands like New Britain and Bougainville. The Bismarck Range's Mount Wilhelm, at 4,509 meters, gets snow despite PNG's equatorial heat of 30 to 32 degrees Celsius. The Fly-Deagle Shelf, a swampy plain, contrasts the Owen Stanley Range's jagged spine. Rainforests, the world's third largest after the Amazon and Congo, span 288,000 square kilometers, housing 20,000 plant species. The Pacific Ring of Fire sparks 1,000 quakes yearly. 2024's 6.7 magnitude Madang tremor cracked 500 homes. Cyclones and tsunamis hit hard. 2024's Cyclone Guba flooded 1,000 villages, costing $200 million. The 200-mile exclusive economic zone teems with 650 fish species, but 30% of 800 coral species bleached in 2024. Port Moresby, the capital, houses 360,000 on the Coral Sea, while 87% live rurally, isolated by mountains and 50% roadless terrain. History is a saga of ancient roots and colonial scars. Humans arrived 50,000 years ago, developing agriculture by 7,000 BCE, among the world's first. Austronesians brought pottery and pigs 2,500 years ago. Portuguese sailor Jorge de Menezes named it Ilhas dos Papuas in 1526 for locals' frizzy hair. Spaniard Inigo Ortiz de Retes dubbed it New Guinea in 1546. Germany claimed the northeast in 1884, Britain the south, and Australia took both by 1906. World War II's New Guinea campaign saw 216,000 deaths. The Kokoda Trail's 1942 battles alone killed 6,000. Independence from Australia came in 1975, with Michael Somare becoming the first prime minister, following a 1949 union of Papua and New Guinea. Bougainville's separatist war from 1988 to 1998 resulted in 20,000 deaths, with a 2019 vote for independence in 2027 being stalled by Papua New Guinea's veto. In 2024, 1,000 people protested the stalled talks, burning 50 cars. The population is a vibrant, fragmented tapestry. The 2022 estimate of 17 million, up from 11.8 million official counts, reflects underreporting in remote highlands. Melanesians dominate, with 1% Micronesian and Polynesian plus 50,000 Chinese, Australians and others. Only 13.2% live in urban areas, the world's second lowest after Burundi, with 360,000 in Port Moresby and 78,000 in Lae. Over 1,000 tribes like the Baining and Asaro Mudmen maintain distinct cultures. Migration is stark, 50,000 left for Australia since 2010, chasing $40,000 jobs versus 5,000 locally. The 1.9% growth rate strains 1,000 villages where 40% live below $1.90 daily. Women, holding only 3% of the 118 parliament seats, face 80% domestic violence rates. The 65% literacy rate lags, with 1,000 rural schools lacking books. In 2024, 1,000 Highlands clashes killed 50 people, fueled by tribal feuds. The economy is resource-rich but shaky. The $32 billion GDP at $1,800 per capita leans on mining, 72% of exports, and agriculture, which makes up 30% of the GDP. Gold, copper, and oil from Porgera and Kutubu net $10 billion. But 2024's $1 billion cobalt boom, vital for electric vehicle batteries, enriched 100 elites. Coffee, cocoa, and palm oil, grown by 85% of the 10 million subsistence farmers, earned $2 billion. Fishing licenses, with 1,000 tuna boats, yield $500 million. But overfishing cut 20% of stocks. Tourism, with 150,000 visitors, adds $100 million. Goroka's 2024 festival drew 10,000. Infrastructure lags. 50% of 1,000 villages lack electricity, and 70% have no clean water. Australia's $355 million aid funds 1,000 projects, but 2024's $50 million corruption scandal sparked 1,000 protests. Inflation hit 7%, spiking rice by $2 per kilo. The Kina, once seashells until 1933, buys 25 cents. Crime is a gritty reality. The murder rate, 10 per 100,000, saw 1,700 killings in 2024, with 500 in Port Moresby. Tribal warfare, like 2024's Enga clashes, killed 100, using 1,000 smuggled guns. Rape is rampant. 27% of men admit to non-partner assaults, and 50% of victims are under 15. Sorcery killings, with 50 to 150 women murdered yearly as witches persist. 2024's Simbu burning of 10 women drew 1,000 global outcries. Gangs with 5,000 members run $1 billion in meth. 2024's 500 busts seized $10 million. The 6,000-strong police force, often corrupt, reportedly raped 100 detainees in 2024, according to ex-posts. Cybercrime, such as a $5 million scam in 2024, affected 10,000 accounts. In rural areas, justice is often administered by 1,000 elders, resolving 50% of disputes. Only 40% of people feel safe. 1,000 urban homes lock their doors every night, unlike 500 rural ones. Culture here is, well, a dazzling explosion. Over 1,000 tribes speaking 851 languages, 12% of the world's total, create a unique linguistic mosaic. Tok Pisin, Hiri Motu, and English are the official languages, but Enga, with its 200,000 speakers, leads the way. The Goroka Show, featuring 750 tribes, attracts 10,000 people for sing-sings or traditional dances. Baining fire dancers and Asaro Mudmen captivate 1,000 tourists. Bailum bags woven by 1,000 women sell for $20 each. In Sepik, house tambarans or spirit houses host crocodile scar initiations for 1,000 boys. Traditional foods like sago, taro, and cow feed 5,000 people at 1,000 feasts. Betel nut, chewed by 50% of the population, stains the streets red. Christianity is predominant at 96%, but 1,000 villages blend animism, worshipping spirits in 50 house tambarans. Art, including 1,000 Sepik carvings, generates $1 million. In 2024, 1,000 Highlands men wore kambang, or lime powder, at 50 weddings, costing a total of $10,000. Quirks are spellbinding. The hooded pitohui, a black chestnut bird, is Earth's only poisonous bird, its batrachotoxin feathers deterring 1,000 predators. Seashells, used as currency until 1933, remain bride prices in 1,000 villages. PNG's 5% of global biodiversity, 20,000 plants, 750 birds, 800 corals, fits 1% of Earth's land. The Dani tribe's mourning ritual, cutting fingers, persists in 100 Highlands families per ex-posts. Cannibalism, like the forays Kuru spreading endocannibalism until the 1960s, killed 2012 reports of 50 attacks shocked 1,000 tourists. PNG's 288,000 square kilometer rainforest hides 1,000 uncontacted tribes like 1983's Hagahai. Port Moresby's 2024 riots after a police strike looted 500 shops costing $100 million. The Kina stamp with Queen Elizabeth II sells for $50 to 1,000 collectors. Environment is a biodiversity jewel under siege. Rainforests host 3,000 orchid species and 750 birds, including 38 birds of paradise with dazzling mating dances. Tree kangaroos, 12 species, climb 1,000 lowland trees. Blue-eyed cockatoos mimic 100 sounds in 1,000 swamps. The 2024 discovery of a new snake species thrilled 1,000 biologists. Logging, by 1,000 Southeast Asian firms, felled 10% of forests since 2000, costing $500 million in carbon sinks. Coral reefs, with 800 species, lost 30% to 2024's bleaching. Community-led climate efforts like 2024's 1,000 mangrove plantings restored 500 hectares. Waste, 1,000 tons daily, clogs 500 urban bins, with 60% unrecycled. Solar power, at 5%, lights 1,000 homes. 2024's $10 million panels cut 20% of diesel. Social issues are harrowing. Poverty grips 40%, 7 million below $1.90 daily. 1,000 kids skip school for farming. Education, free for 3 million, hits 65% literacy, but 1,000 Highland schools lack Wi-Fi. Healthcare, with 500 clinics, struggles. 2024's 1,000 malaria cases overwhelmed 100 beds, and 5,000 women birthed on Port Moresby hospital floors. Gender inequality ranks Papua New Guinea 160th of 161. 80% of women face violence, and only 10 women ever held parliament seats. Sorcery accusations killing 50 to 150 women yearly spiked in 2024's 100 cases. Migration, with 1,000 yearly Australian moves, drains talent. 2024's 50 doctors left. Tribal feuds, with 1,000 clashes killed 100, costing $10 million. Politics is a turbulent dance. A constitutional monarchy, with King Charles III as head via Governor-General Sir Robert Day, elects a 118-seat parliament. James Morobe, Prime Minister since 2019, survived 2024's 1,000 no-confidence votes. Corruption, with 100 cases, costs $50 million yearly. 2024's 500 vote-buying probes fined 50. Australia's 2023 Security Pact, with $100 million, funds 1,000 police. Bougainville's 2027 independence, backed by 98% of 200,000 voters, faces Papua New Guinea's veto, sparking 1,000 2024 rallies. Customary law used by 1,000 tribes clashes with courts, delaying 50% of 1,000 cases. Press freedom, with 1,000 journalists, is relatively free, but 100 self-censor on tribal issues. History's dark shocks endure. The 1920s Bulolo gold rush drew 10,000, sparking 1,000 claims. The 1918 flu killed 9,000, mostly Melanesians. The 1988 to 1998 Bougainville War, over Panguna Mines' $1 billion profits, killed 20,000. 2024's 1,000 ex-rebels demanded $100 million. The 2009 anti-Chinese riots after a nickel factory brawl looted 500 shops, costing $10 million. The 1977 Amungme tribe's Freeport pipe cutting led to 500 deaths and 215 refugees per ex-posts. The 1960s Kuru epidemic from 4 cannibalism killed 1,000. 2024's 50 memorials honored victims. Economy's underbelly staggers. Mining's $10 billion enriches 100 firms. 50% of 1,000 miners earn $1 daily. Coffee's $500 million from 1,000 Highlands farms faces 20% climate yield drops. Tourism's 150,000 visitors spent $700 each in 2024, but 50% flight costs deterred 10,000. AID's $355 million funds 1,000 elites, not 1,000 rural clinics. Infrastructure's 50% roadless state stalls 1,000 businesses, costing $1 billion. Culture's oddities mesmerize. The Asaro Mudmen, with 1,000 clay masks, scare 500 tourists at 50 shows. Sepik's crocodile initiations, scarring 1,000 boys, cost $5,000 per ritual. Tok Pisin's Milekim Dispella, I like this, unites 1,000 vendors. Highlands' 1,000 Bilum bags, woven for $20, fund 500 weddings. The 2024 Goroka Show, with 1,000 dancers, cost $1 million, drawing 10,000. PNG is a crucible of extremes, lush yet lethal, diverse yet divided, ancient yet anarchic. Its shocking facts, from poisonous pitohuis to sorcery slayings, from 851 tongues to tribal wars, reveal a nation as fierce as it's fragile. Whether it's Port Moresby's chaotic streets or Sepik's spirit houses, PNG grips your soul and doesn't let go. It's a place where resilience battles chaos, and every jungle trail is a vibrant, unforgettable leap.